What are the conversations that liberate us? And the conversations that liberate us cause a shift in the angle of the mind in terms of how we're seeing something. So it's a shift of narrative to some extent. Oh, maybe I'm not that, maybe I'm this. We have those little moments of aha that when we open ourselves to the field and to each other and listen to another human being with curiosity, it actually is transforming for us as well as the person that we're listening to. So in my group, when I was listening, I suddenly had the feeling that I was in a cathedral as I was listening to the person. And I said, gosh, when you look inside, what are you seeing right now? I'm in church, you know. I guess we're in a Christian facility, or I could be in a temple, right? But it opened up a space, the person opened up a space for me that's as close to a religious experience as I know of the wonder, a moment of wonder. So I think all of this is a piece. You know, that we were talking a little bit about that this morning. All is a piece. And I'm going to try something just difficult for a minute, because it's a hard concept even, you know, I think for anybody to grasp. But it's what we call systemic thinking. I know a lot of you are maybe in business and you know about systems thinking as a way of being more productive and getting more stuff. But the local causal thinking is the pathway that we work on in our life to make decisions to get predictable outcomes. And in an unsafe, insecure world, we're looking for predictable outcomes. The problem is that in this specialization of getting from point A to point B, we're not holding what they call the global analogical thinking. And the global analogical thinking is thinking about the whole. So that within the context of what I'm doing, how is that impacting the larger medium? And analogical in that the mind can't hold the whole, so we create analogies or narratives that hold the whole. But the idea is to have that double vision of both what I'm doing, but how it's impacting the larger scheme of things. It's environmental thinking in some ways. How is my action impacting the whole? You know, is this useful? Is this a useful story that I'm engaged in? And I think in that process of that double vision of understanding cause and effect and the linear thinking, which is necessary, I mean, just washing the dishes is a linear process, to get things done. And then to hold that larger context, I think what it does is it opens up the space for the intuitive mind to engage. And then we know things without knowing how we know things. And I think that we're trained for 17 years at least in school to get the right answer. Right? There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. And if I have an answer and I can't justify it, then I can't speak because I'm not sure. And in my insecurity, I'm not practicing bringing my intuitive intelligence into the room, and furthermore, it's not wanted. And then we sit silent. So we mentioned that a little bit yesterday too. So how do we see the whole and the particular at the same time to understand the relationship of all the parts? Because it's in that relationship that the shift happens. And so these conversations are a process that we're having that fosters relationship. It fosters connection. And the connection creates a shift in story for the listener and for the speaker. They're small shifts. They're incremental shifts, as you were saying. We can call them improvements. I don't know. But they're small shifts. But that incremental shift is gradual shift of consciousness on our journey that changes our reality as we move into it. that existential leap that we take, as it were, as human beings into the not yet existent, with the cosmic confidence that the very leap into the non-existent evokes that reality into which we plunge. Those are thoughts. They're random thoughts. Ravi always triggers my thinking, so blame him. What are your thoughts? What are you bouncing right back to you? What does that make you think about?
So I've noticed a habit of my own. We all have habits, and to me awareness is being able to see and then maybe find out where they've come from. But this habit of figuring things out before you open your mouth, like total antithesis is what you were sharing. It's just a habit. I'm not placing one above the other. But what it stops me from expressing is what is intuitively true for me, till I figure out all the steps on the way. So I'm not able to invite people in to think with me, to help me think. And so I lose out on a huge resource because of that inhibition to express before I figured it out. The logical thing of that. And this was not planned at all, but this has just come out of my mouth.
So help us think about this. This is thought jazz, folks. So I spoke, he spoke. Something popped into your mind then as an intuitive process. There is no right statement, there's no wrong statement, there's just what you think. Anything?